welcome to Caring for the Pathway. My name's Kayla, if you didn't know that already, and this is another little mini yoga sesh for our time of social distancing. So this evening I wanted to talk about the vagus nerve and this thing called polyvagal theory. And I want to say, first of all, that I'm really not an expert, that I'm just learning about this stuff, but it seems to be a lot of, it brings a lot of clarity to our interactions and the way that we interface with the world around us and with our inner world and the stimulus that we come into contact with. So everyone heard when they were, young, taking like human anatomy and biology classes, or at some point in your travels have probably heard about the sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system. And I've been writing about that on Instagram a little bit. Sympathetic nervous system is what kicks into gear when we need to mobilize, when we need to go deal with a situation. And I think a lot of us have been in that space of needing to go handle what needs to be handled, whether that's buying a million rolls of toilet paper, I'm not gonna shame you, or if that's going and making sure someone's okay, or cleaning your house, or picking a fight with your spouse. Sorry. Those things, right? Those things that have happened, they're reflections of us being in a very highly activated sympathetic system state. And then the other side of that we're usually taught about is the rest and digest, or the parasympathetic state, and that's the one where we're kind of told we want to be in more, because it's there that we're able to do things like our immune system is optimized, and we're able to digest our food, and we're able to enjoy a lover, and we're able to learn and integrate information. And I've been doing a deep dive on this because I learned those things, and then I also learned this thing. There's this thing called freeze, right? Where you freeze from the stimulus of trauma or the fear of harm coming to yourself. And then there's this other thing that they added on that is another response to trauma called fawning, where you're just really, really nice to somebody because you need them to like you. You need them to take care of you, right? You need to feel safe through them. And I didn't understand how it all fit together until I started learning about polyvagal theory, because my psychiatrist, Sarah, who's basically my buddy now, I'm not on that many meds, not that it would matter if I was, but that she was like, oh, well, go read this article. And it was a medical journal article. And then she's like, oh, listen to these podcasts. That it started to really make sense. So I wanted to just share a little bit about my understanding of that in the context of what we're all going through right now, because I think it's really useful. And I wanted to share some yoga practices and the way that I see that yoga constantly interacts with those systems. So the thing is, we don't just have fight or flight and rest and digest. We're not just those two things. And being activated in your sympathetic system is not necessarily a bad thing, because it actually saves your life. So honor the warrior inside of you who comes out and is I'm gonna take care of the situation. And what I really like about polyvagal theory as I'm learning about it is that instead of it being fight or flight, it's talked about it as being the mobilizing force, right? And so when we're dealing with something that's scary to us, it mobilizes us to, come at the thing or to run away from the thing. Either way, we're in movement. And when it's not a traumatic situation, where it's not something that has to be taken care of right now, it's our playfulness, right? We see it when we start to play. And then if we are not able to take care of the situation, right? If we aren't able to, like, say we're in a stressful situation, we'll go back to the stressful thing, right? And someone comes or something happens that threatens us, and we're not able to fight it or get away from it, then we sometimes actually downregulate, meaning we like move into, or I guess that's the right word, we move into the parasympathetic system, which is normally what we consider to be rest and digest, but instead of it being rest and digest, like we like shut down, right? So it all kicks in and we're frozen. And there's this vasovagal response that can happen where people actually faint or pass out or lose control of their bowels in these situations. And the man who came up with polyvagal theory also talks about how irritable bowel syndrome and things like that seem to be related, right? Like with science can't really explain exactly why this thing is happening. It may actually have to do with the nervous system. So we can sometimes freeze, and sometimes when we can't handle the situation, we take ourselves away from the situation, even though we're still in the situation, right? We're just too overwhelmed, we can't handle it. Or because there's this other component of this, which I find really fascinating that I'm still figuring out, and if anyone wants to help me, I'm welcome to help, right? There's a social component to this too, because we aren't just like individual lone wolves, we're pack animals, so to speak, and so we're social animals, and so we co-regulate with each other. And so it makes sense that there are circumstances where instead of us just being in whatever state that we're in, that we also take on the states or like vibe with the state of another person, especially someone who's close to us and important to us. And so fawning is another way that sometimes our stress like manifests, like we manifest in a situation of stress. So that's a lot of talking, but I wanted to explain one more thing, which is just about, so like basically we go between these two states, right? Of like, it's not bad to be either in fight or flight or rest and digest until like we're gonna vacillate between the two all the time. But what we want to achieve is some sense of balance. So it's interesting hearing everyone, and I do this myself, like get really frustrated because like I'm really depressed and I can't move, or oh, I'm really anxious and I like am trying to do everything and can't sleep or can't eat or whatever. It's okay to be in those states, right? Because we're not looking for like one thing all the time. Like we're constantly vacillating and we want to strike a balance. And we also are regulating with the people around us. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the physical reality of the nerves that travel along and carry the information from your body and your brain, from your body to your brain and your brain to your body. Mostly, however, like I've been told that one of those nerves really doesn't do a lot of taking information from your brain to your body, but more from your body to your brain, which is really interesting. So the sympathetic nervous system is like physically, it happens along the two sides of the spine, right? So there's like a sympathetic chain that goes down along either side of your spine in the back, and then it branches out, and it looks like, from my like intensive, I'm gonna draw this thing, most of it like comes out in like the thoracic spine, which is your mid-back. Okay, most of the nerves like branch out, most of the information comes from here, like the mid-back. Okay, so that's one thing. That's your sympathetic, right? So if you've ever done yoga much, you're told that the sympathetic gets fired up when we take back bends, right? And so we're not supposed to do lots of back bends before bed because we might they used to say you might pinch your adrenal glands, but it turns on the sympathetic nervous system a bit. This parasympathetic nervous system goes has to do with your brain, but it also goes down along the vagus nerve, which runs along either side in the front. It actually passes right underneath this muscle here called the sternocleidomastoid and goes down along your body, and it stops, I think, around here, if I recall correctly, right? And there are other nerves involved too, and I wish I had my anatomy book from massage school, but I forgot to bring it home tonight. So basically, your parasympathetic system runs along the front of your body, and your sympathetic system like physically runs along the back of your body. And I just wanted to say that also what's fascinating about this is that like they are actual physical things, your nerves, right? I didn't even think of them as like physical things until I actually saw one. And I saw a sciatic nerve when we were doing cadaver dissection, and I was like, whoa, it's a thing. I was only there for part of the dissection. That's why I like started with seeing the sciatic nerve, which if you don't know is in your butt. Anyway, so yoga works with a lot of extension and flexion of the spine, which is going to bring about this sort of balance between the sympathetic and the parasympathetic systems, ideally, which is why I think sun salutations are so poetic. So I want you to just find a comfortable seat. That was way more talking than I thought I'd do. I hope it was informative. So find a comfortable seat and just presence yourself in your body by taking some deeper breaths. And allow your awareness of your inner presence to pervade through the layers of self. Notice how you're showing up this time, right? Whatever time and place it is in this space. And then I'd like you to let your eyes open gently, and we're gonna find our pulse. So the way I usually do it for this is I take my wrist and I turn it in front of me, and I take 2 fingers and I wrap them around, and I find like that. And I can usually find it pretty quickly when I do that. Watch tonight be the night. There it is. Thump, thump. So you can do it that way. If you're like, I can't find it, am I dead? You're not dead. You could also try bringing it up on your neck. Whichever one you prefer. And just feel a sense of the rhythm of your body. As your heart beats. And we're going to try and do some practices this evening that help to tone the vagus nerve, that help to take care of our nervous system. So notice the rhythm of your pulse. And now I want you to inhale and notice what rhythm happens in your pulse. And exhale, notice the rhythm of the pulse. And try that a couple more times. You could even take Ujjayi Pranayama if you'd like. Inhaling long and deep. And exhale long and deep. And most likely you notice that when you inhale, your pulse quickens, and when you exhale, it slows. And it's pretty cool because that's actually your sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems turning on, which is why we often think more about the exhalation in yoga, why we often are told to like lengthen our exhalations if we're going into an anxious spiral and we need to downregulate. So you should have noticed that as you inhaled, your pulse quickened, and as you exhaled, it slowed. And I actually had a yoga student for whom that didn't happen because he had I think it was a heart bypass, and they cut his vagus nerve. And so his heart didn't know how to regulate with his body, which was crazy. But I digress. Take that a couple more times now that you know that you should be feeling quick and slow, in case you didn't notice that, and see if it's still true, or if it is true for you. Beautiful. One more time. Inhaling, we'll inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great. Slowly release that and let your eyes come open. Welcome. So we'll do a little bit more movement now. For this, I'd like you to have a mat. You don't need any other props for today unless you have really sensitive knees and you wanted to have a blanket. I'm thinking I should turn it out to the side so you can see a little better. This isn't going to be a very vigorous practice. So, hands and knees. This is a great way to start the practice. Any movement practice, it's a great way to start your day too. So hands underneath your shoulders, or maybe a little further forward. When they're a little further back, they don't feel great. And reach out through the top of the head towards the front of you, and your tailbone reaches towards the back. And then as you inhale, let your belly drop, lift the heart. And exhale, round. Drop the weight of the head. And this is really basic yoga stuff. Inhale, now that you know where your nervous system moves along the spine. You inhale, you're opening up the vagus nerve. And as you exhale, you're letting it kind of fold in on itself a little bit. And you're opening up the sympathetic nerve. There's actually, I think, 2 of them that run on either side of your spine. Inhale, open. Exhale, round. Good, inhale, open. Exhale, round. Inhale, open. And to bring ourselves into deeper calm, exhale. Exhale all the air out. You can even do it through your mouth. And find the bottom of the exhale, and don't breathe in yet. Just deepen that exhalation. Don't breathe in, hold there. Now inhale, open. Exhale, round. Find the very bottom. Hang out there in that emptiness. And then inhale. Exhale. Find the very bottom. Hang there. Good. Tuck the toes under. Push yourself back to a downward facing dog. Release the weight of the head. You can bend one knee and the other. You can bend both knees. Inhale. And exhale. We'll take 3 rounds of sun salutations next. So inhale, look forward. Before we do that, exhale, bend the knees to the earth. We'll take just a little classical vinyasa. Send the heart forward, sits bones back, bend the elbows by the rib cage, chin and chest to the earth. As you inhale, slide onto your belly, lift the heart, roll it up and into a cobra, baby cobra. And then exhale, press back to downward facing dog. In your sun salutations today, I want you to notice the ways that you bend the spine, the way that you flex and extend your spine. And with each flexion and extension, we're coming deeper into a sense of balance between our mobilization and our immobilization, between our urge to move and get out and engage and to play, and our urge to snuggle and cuddle in and rest and be still. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, bend your knees. Walk your feet to the top of the mat. Good. Keep the knees bent. Inhale, look forward to the horizon. Exhale, you fold forward over the legs. Inhale. Exhale, slowly roll up through the spine, vertebra by vertebra. Head comes up last. so standing at the top of the mat, we'll take 3 rounds of sun salutations. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Now lift the heart and take a little back bend, opening up, getting into that activation place. And as you exhale, fold forward, knees can bend or stay long. And relax the head here. Yeah, just shake your head no, nod your head yes. Feel free to bend the knees if you need to. And then as you inhale, look forward, rise up halfway. Exhale, bring the hands down. From here, we're gonna step our left foot back and then step our right foot back. Good, shift your shoulders forward of the wrists, knees down or up, bend the elbows by the rib cage. Inhale, roll into up dog, lifting the heart. Exhale, press back to downward facing dog. Beautiful, inhale. Exhale. Allow the breath to travel along the pathways in the spine. Keep feeling the pressure of the hands and the heels hanging away from the sits bones. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, bend the knees. Step the left foot forward. Step the right foot forward. Inhale to the horizon. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands come down. Inhale, reach your arms up and overhead. Lift the heart, take a little back bend. Exhale, fold forward from your hips. Inhale, look to the horizon. Exhale, hands down. This time, right foot goes back, left foot goes back. Good, shoulders forward of the wrist, knees down or up for high plank to low. Inhale for up dog, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, press back, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Deep breaths here. And notice the length of your inhalation and your exhalation. Notice the rhythms of your body. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, bend your knees. Step your right foot forward. Step your left foot forward. Inhale to the horizon. Exhale to fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands down through center. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Lift the heart, take a little back bend. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale to the horizon. Exhale, hands down. Step or float the feet back. Shoulders forward of the wrists, knees down or up for high to low. Inhale for up dog. Exhale, down dog. Good, inhale. Exhale. Inhale to take the right leg up. Exhale, draw the knee in, step the foot between the hands. Take the back knee down, inhale into Anjaneyasana. Exhale, hands come down. Step the right foot back. Inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, knee comes in, step the foot down. Take your right knee to the mat. Inhale, climb out of the hips. Lift up through the spine. Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Exhale, hands come down. Step the foot back to down dog. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, bend the knees. Step or jump to the top of the mat. Inhale, lengthening to the horizon. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands come down through center. Samastiti, gathering together. Take an inhalation for your right side and an exhalation for your right side. Take an inhalation for your left side. Exhalation for left side. Take an inhalation for your center. Exhale for center. Let your eyes flutter open. Good. The next thing we're going to do is a breathing exercise. called Uddiyana Bandha Kriya. I'm going to show you my belly so it makes sense. Everyone's bellies look different. Everyone's body looks different. It's gonna look different on different people. I just had a baby 2 months ago, so it's gonna look different on me than it looks on somebody else. Yeah, so basically, this is a breath retention on an exhalation. So it's counterindicated if you're pregnant. If you are menstruating, I really leave that one up to you though, because I personally do it when I'm menstruating. If you have uncontrolled blood pressure, and if you have like an eye problem, not like you wear glasses, like you have an eye problem. Okay, so the way it works, the way I was taught, is you'll inhale, and then we'll exhale all the air out. I do a lion's breath, and you'll drop your head and like really try to empty the body of the air. So everyone, go ahead and find this like toes turned out position, bend your knees, bring your hands to your knees, and like actually like let your arms, your shoulders right up to your ears, and lock your elbows, and like relax your belly a little. Good. So you don't actually want to be holding it back. You're gonna let the pressure of the ribs pull the belly back when we take this exercise, right? But download and save this position. Okay, so you'll inhale, you'll exhale all the air out, head comes down, lock the elbows, assume that position, round the back, navel will come towards spine, you'll flare your ribs forward. And what's gonna happen is you'll make kind of like a cavern in your belly. So take a look, I'll do it once. So inhaling, arms up overhead, I'm gonna exhale all my air out. Then I'm gonna catch my Kriya. I'm gonna lock the elbows around the spine, pull the navel back. Inhale to release and exhale, okay? If you have a hard time catching it, you'll plug your nose and suck through the nose, right? If I wasn't plugging my nose, I would breathe in and it'll pull your belly back. Take like a fake inhale, all right? We're gonna do it 3 times. I'm just gonna do it with you guys because I can't cue it and do it at the same time. And since this is a video, I don't know, we'll figure it out. I'll try to do both at the same time. Inhale, arms up overhead. If you ever feel super dizzy and don't want to do it anymore, you don't have to do it. Exhale all the air out. Once you've emptied your body of breath, lock the elbows around the spine. Pull the navel back, flare the ribs forward. You can plug the nose and pull air, no air through the nose. Hold here. Inhale to release. Exhale. Inhale the arms up overhead. Second round, exhale all the air out. Bottom of the exhale, round the spine. Catch the Kriya, pulling the navel back, flaring the ribs forward. You can plug the nose and breathe in through the plugged nose without taking in air. Inhale to release when you're ready. Inhale, arms up overhead. One more time, this is great before breakfast, you guys. Exhale all the air out. Lock the elbows around the spine. Catch your Kriya, flying ribs forward. Inhale to release when you're ready. Exhale. Inhale. Arms up overhead, feet are wide. Exhale, bring the hands down through the midline. Good. We're gonna step the feet wide. Bend the knees towards the outer edges of the feet. Bend the elbows out to the sides, coming into goddess pose or temple pose. Good. Inhale. Exhale. Sink a little lower, press through the feet. Inhale. Exhale. into the back space? Can you really optimize the expansion of the breath through the body? And then inhale, rise up. Exhale, heel toe the feet a little closer to you, so heels are on the mat, toes apart. Inhale, arms up overhead. If you need a block for malasana, grab it. Exhale, coming on down to squat. You can always adjust. If you wanted to sit on a block, if you were like, my body doesn't like that, you could sit on a block. I happen to have one here. Right, and that takes a little pressure off knees. If even that's not working for you, come up here, and we'll just like maybe bring your hands to your knees, almost like we did for Uddiyana Bandha Kriya. Beautiful. Inhale. Exhale, bring the hands down. We're not there for long. Step your left foot back. Good. The back knee can be up or down. Lift the heart in lizard's pose. Knee goes to the outer edge of the foot. If you feel any discomfort in the knee, you're going to want to adjust the bend of the knee. Inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Walk your right foot a little bit closer to the right hand, and then lift the right hand up, pressing your left hand down. Inhale. Exhale. Back knee can be up or down, up to you. Inhale. Exhale. One more round. Exhale. Right hand comes down. Heel toe the right foot back off to the side. Step the left foot in. Come back to malasana. Elbows to the inner thighs. Lift the heart. Drop the pelvis. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Hands come down. This time it's the right foot that goes back. Back knee is up or down. Lift the heart. If you wanted to, you could come all the way down to your forearms. You can also adjust the front foot, right? So for me, that was a little too much bend in my knee. So I wanted to bring my left foot a little further forward to take some pressure off the knee and make it feel a little more stable. Do be aware of your body as you breathe. Beautiful. From here, back knee can come up or stay down. Heel toe your left foot a little bit closer until you can lift your left hand up. Ground down through the right hand and spiral. Let the navel, like it wants to peek over the side of the thigh. Reaching out through the crown of the head and both fingertips. Reach to the back leg. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Bring the hand down. Good. Step your foot back. Come to downward facing dog. And if you wanted to, you could take a vinyasa. If you want, you can stay in down dog. Good inhale. Coming to plank from down dog. We're going to lower all the way to the ground. Your knees can be down or up. Lower slowly with control. On your belly, bring your forearms down. Lift the heart. Come to Sphinx. Feeding energy through the legs behind you to the back wall. And just gently draw your chin from side to side. Dropping the shoulder blades down the back. Keep a little tone in the belly. Notice the breath. Notice what your nervous system is doing right now. And then slowly come to center and come all the way down. And this is a little different. So you're going to bring your elbows out to your sides like cactus arms. And we'll start off by taking let's take our right cheek to the mat first. But before you do that, You're going to take your right elbow up so it's halfway to your ear and to 90 degrees. So split the difference and take your right cheek down. So right elbow is out to the sides. Now from here, take your left hand in front of your chest and you're gonna roll onto the right side of the body and bring your feet behind you. And if you have ample breast tissue, you might need to like scoop it out. And breathing here. And you should feel a stretch going deep into your rib cage on the right side. And this muscle is responsible for pulling the shoulders forward, which is very much a stress response. Life is getting heavy response. Deep, full breaths. Remember the rhythm of your pulse. And then slowly, slowly roll yourself back onto your mat. Good, come to center. Bring your elbows out to the sides. Look forward and draw your arms up and just notice a difference between right and left side. And then coming back down. Now this time it's the left elbow that's gonna go to the diagonal. Your left cheek that's gonna go to the mat. You're gonna bring your left hand down in front of your chest and roll onto the, it's your right hand that's down in front of your chest. Roll onto the left side and open out. And soften your jaw. Notice what is happening in your body. Know that you're never a prisoner to any posture or to any choreography. You can always change it to suit what your body needs. Move into a sense of inner wisdom and trust yourself. Deepen your breath. Be aware of your body. And then come back to center. Bring that elbow to the side and slowly lift up. Notice the difference from the beginning. And then bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Press back to all fours. And if it's available to you, make your way to child's pose. Bring your feet together, sliding the arms out in front. Forehead comes to the earth. And if you have your knees together, that will make a child's pose. That's more for the stretch of the low back. So. And if you have your knees apart, that'll turn it into more for the hips. I'm going for the knees together this evening. And slowly come up to seated. And just notice how you feel. Another thing that we know is good for your vagus nerve and for your nervous system is chanting and singing. So we're going to close with a little chant. So find a comfortable seat. the tall spine. You can turn your palms down or up. You could put your index finger to your thumb. And we'll tune into Om.